And welcome back to another episode of DQ'd. I'm Tim Quinlan, joined alongside me, Pete. How you doing, Pete?
Very good. How about yourself, Tim?
Doing great. I still in shock over last night. Still in awe over everything that took place.
Very much so. That was an incredible finish by Otis and the WWE as a whole. I thought that was amazing.
I mean, it was cinematic. It was exactly what I think WWE is going to keep doing until this whole crisis ends. They're going to, every pay-per-view, have one cinematic match, and it's going to be probably the biggest one of the night, and they did it again.
Yeah, and I think in addition to the Undertaker AJ one that you're inferring that happened last pay-per-view, this is another one that hit the nail right in the head and leaves viewers happy and wanting more, as I'm sure you do as much as I do.
Of course. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. We could start with just how everything started. We can go in the same order, but I don't think it's that what the viewers want. I think if viewers want us to start with the Money in the Bank matches, both women and men's taking place at the same time at WWE headquarters.
Yeah, let's get right into that, Tim.
Let's jump into it. First off, entrances were weird. You know, men were coming out in the weight room, women were just coming out in the lobby. You know, you didn't know how it was going to go. Asuka took the first, you knew there was going to be some weird start to it, so Asuka took the weird start. She was on the second floor balcony, and she decided to jump off, tackle everybody, and run into the elevator. So
yeah, going off the entrances, definitely a little weird, not really climactic at all. Kind of just uncomfortably short walk-in, weird setting to start. Asuka's was cool, but also kind of cheating as she started not on the first level. I don't know how you view that, but as we know, she did come out victorious. And could that starting on the balcony have helped her? I think hell yeah.
No, it was definitely a good plan on her part to start up there. But for all in all, it was.
Sorry to tell you, but right after she jumped on them, jumped off the balcony, it was kind of like a goose chase for her, and then at the end, she kind of just had like the lead and upper hand and ran right up and grabbed it. Kind of a short match. But also none of our predictions hit on that one. No. I don't know how WWE Universe also thought about that.
I don't think anybody had Asuka, and not because Asuka's not one of the best women. I mean, again, they had her as an undefeated Goldberg in NXT. I just think everyone thought Shayna Baszler, this is the way to get her back in the title picture. Maybe Lacey Evans from SmackDown, get her back in the title picture because they love her. At most, Nia Jax. They finally brought her back. Supposedly, she was going to be the one to win the WWE Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. So maybe she gets it. And nobody, I think, thought Asuka, who just had a run as a WWE Tag Team Champion, was going to come into the match and actually win it. So, yeah, some great spots. I feel bad they made Dana Brooke like a loser out there. She grabbed the wrong Money in the Bank briefcase. She threw food in Heyman. I mean, she got abused. She fell on water, like a wet floor. I mean, Dana Brooke was definitely she was the clown of the show. She was Doink the Clown, as we saw the
in addition to clowns, we actually seen Doink the Clown. We had also a bunch of other old school celebrities or wrestlers, whatever. Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, we had Brother Love make an appearance, Bruce Pritchard, which we haven't seen in forever. I mean, his most notable one is definitely he was the one to introduce Undertaker, as we saw on the last ride. He was the first manager for Ballet. And then we see him with the Undertaker. He had that that story with him where he gave him a present, and Undertaker kicked his ass later on in his tenure. But I mean, that was great to see him pop up. Stephanie McMahon came in, told the girls, "Let's knock it off." We had the great Vince McMahon pop up, which is, I mean, he's I don't know. I mean, he's late 70s, right? He's old, but he still looks great. He still loves this thing. He still say he enjoys it, and he's still adapting. We had the whole Undertaker thing with AJ Styles, which I don't think is finished. I think if Undertaker fights again, he's fighting AJ because he feels comfortable with AJ. AJ knows he can work with that guy. They know Undertaker's limited, and AJ's perfect for him.
Well, I don't want to get into it too much, but after viewing Undertaker's Last Ride episode 1, I don't know if he'll wrestle any more times. But not to get into it, continue, Tim. Sorry.
Yeah, no. We had Brother Love, and then we had Doink the Clown make a slight little, out of all the people that played him, I don't know who played him last night. And then we had Paul Heyman Hustle, eating, looking like a fat slob, but again, enjoying his part, killing his part, doing the right thing. I thought maybe he would have made a Brock Lesnar reference. He didn't. But again, it was fun. Well,
it was a good time. He I think tried to make a Lesnar
the advocate thing. Yep.
and then the whole food fight happened. But going off that, the man who started the food fight and Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis, with the win. Unbelievable. I literally, in watching from my comfort of my own home, fist up, everything. Tears of joy almost came down, I swear. Tim, go in.
Yeah, no, I mean, good. Climbing up, it started in the weight room. First of all, Baron Corbin broke the glass. I know for a fact, being a P3
5-pound weight.
You break that weight room glass, that's a lot of money. But again, obviously W set it up. It was great. AJ Styles being trapped under the weight, and they're all climbing up. Let's just get to the roof. They had their food fight, the men. They had all their issues going up the thing, but they made it fun. They made it cinematic. They made it great. The whole Vince McMahon thing, office with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan was corny but very funny at the same time. They get to the roof. Baron Corbin is on the run right now for murders. He's murdered 2 people in one night.
Yeah.
Murdered a Hall of Famer in Rey Mysterio, and he murdered my who I thought was going to win if it wasn't AJ Styles, Aleister Black. I mean, he murdered 2 people by throwing them off the roof.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Also, your prediction was someone will get thrown off the roof. Thought it would be AJ, and 2 people, which, let alone 1 happening, 2 is ridiculous, unbelievable. And how goddamn high could they have fell? Literally.
I don't know where the setup was. I don't know how they did it, how it was working, but no matter what, the best part about this whole story is that Vince McMahon did it too. Supposedly everyone was a little sketchy. I mean, you're falling off, no matter how high you're falling off that roof, you're near your ledge, you're off the ledge. Vince McMahon was like, hey, I'll do it. I'll show you guys it's not that bad. He took the dive off the roof, wherever he was supposed to land, and he did it. So if he was doing it, these guys were doing it. They weren't showed up by their, late 70-year-old boss. So Baron Corbin throws him off. He climbs the ladder. AJ climbs the ladder. Otis is trying to fight him off. Out of nowhere, we have another feud that's going to continue. Clearly going to continue, that we thought was over at the WrestleMania, that had a terrible dud at WrestleMania. Elias is back. Breaks the guitar over Baron Corbin. He falls. AJ, clear winner, drops the briefcase. And who's waiting there?
Big man Otis.
Mr. Opportunist. I mean, great finish.
A guy who couldn't even make it up the ladder as he broke the first step comes down with the briefcase. Incredible.
I mean, look, if you were look, they didn't use a lot of ladders. There wasn't a lot of, spots, but if you're somebody, one ladder. It was probably one ladder, for the women and men combined. For the women's side, there was a couple funny spots, good spots, with Dana Brooke and Carmella and everybody, and they had Jax, Stephanie McMahon. There was good spots for the men. If you were somebody who was expecting, a brawl that was going to be a 5-star match, you can't expect that in the days that we're in right now. They did their best. They made it funny. The people in the match knew it was supposed to be a fun time, content-worthy, joyride of the whole thing. 30 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it was, and they did that. They gave you that. They provided that. They made it. Again, it was an original. It's the 3rd match now. You get the Bray Wyatt, Cena. Whatever you think of it, you think of it. You got the Undertaker, AJ Styles. Whatever you think of it, you think of it. And then you got these 2 Money in the Bank matches. This is it. 4 funny, great, content-worthy cinematic matches that WWE is finally moving towards, that everybody else was always doing, and they made it great. They did the best they could with it, and it was phenomenal, I thought.
Because being in the crowd and having an unbelievable Money in the Bank ladders slashing people, people falling off, that's great, but there's no people in the crowd right now. You got to please the viewers from the comfort of their own home. So bringing WWE headquarters, offices all together, I thought it was unbelievable. Give the fans a little view of what's really happening behind the scenes. You have Vince McMahon in here. And then the stakes are so much higher because you're on a freaking roof where 2 people got thrown off of.
I mean, phenomenal. Again,
great job with this Money in the Bank, I believe.
Shocking win from Asuka. Again, not because she doesn't have the resume, but just because I didn't think they were going to go give her possibly another run with the championship. And then very big shocker from Otis. Clearly, Vince McMahon and everybody else is very high on Otis. And then now the situation, how do they play it out? Otis missed the Money in the Bank.
Raises the question about his tag team future and if he's going to really go off into being his own single Otis with Mandy Rose, or what's happening with his teammate. Who knows?
Exactly. I mean, Tucker and him, like you said maybe before. I mean, maybe out of the most absurd thing could ever happen, they cash in for the tag team championships.
And that would be a missed opportunity in my eyes.
Maybe Mandy Rose is, now going to see, money in Otis's eyes and going to get Tucker away from the situation so he gets the WWE Championship. Maybe there's a rift between those two. Maybe Tucker, maybe somebody, AJ Styles is like, hey, Otis, I want it really. I'm going to challenge you for it. Otis is not going to back down. Maybe Tucker or Mandy Rose cost him the miss the Money in the Bank. There's a lot of ways to play this out. I don't know how they're going to go with it. I don't know if Otis is Otis cashes in on a Fiend or Braun Strowman or something like that. You can't expect him to win. He's just, that would make the other guy look bad. He cashes in on Drew McIntyre after all he's been through. It makes him look bad. Again, everybody loves Otis, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. See how it goes.
Yeah. You could also wait it out to the perfect opportunity, like we've seen multiple times, and get someone while they're hurt, while they're down, and who knows how fast they'll put it in, or
I hope it plays out now for the whole time. I hope they both fake their, I'm cashing in and I'm not cashing in. It plays out for a long time. Wait for fans. I hope they wait for the fans are back in the arena for Otis. Maybe sometime that might never happen. I think that pop for Otis when he goes to cash in, if there's fans in there, will be the loudest pop of all time. It'll beat Edge. It'll beat Dolph Ziggler. It'll beat anybody who's cashed in. Easily. Seth Rollins.
So Otis and Asuka, it's a little down the road. Hopefully they hold on to it, like you said. But going into some other cool matches of last night, let's talk about Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt's match.
Yeah. So again, I had, we all saw the predictions that we had so far. You're the only one with a prediction right coming out of the Money in the Bank matches. I had Bray Wyatt most likely come back as the Fiend. Didn't read into the storyline as much. Didn't think they were going to start with Bray Wyatt, but they did. Clearly Bray Wyatt, the whole thing was, I'm going to talk to Braun Strowman. The Fiend doesn't need to kill him. I'll talk to him. I'll get him to join me again, and we'll be good. So I thought they played it out well. It was a great match. They got what they needed to get across, and Braun Strowman held on. He was still champion. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, going back to our last video, I actually predicted this, that Strowman would win, but Bray Wyatt will be the nice, friendly, weird Bray Wyatt that he walks out to that song, all those animals, whatever. I predicted that he would beat him, and now I'm almost certain that their rematch, he will be the Fiend, and he will take over once his black sheep. He will really take him over.
Yeah, I think that most likely takes place at SummerSlam. Again, you saw at the end of the match, he said he's coming. You messed up now. He's screwed. The Fiend's coming, and I think it's gonna be a very good storyline that's gonna happen between these two. I think they can.
I like that story a lot. I think that could last a while and be really good for viewers.
Again, everyone loves Braun Strowman. They always wanted to be champion. The Fiend is the hottest thing going in WWE. This is the perfect match. Hopefully, maybe. It sucks that Luke Harper is gone. It sucks that they just released Eric Rowan. They could have maybe brought them back into the picture, but they can't now. So, but yeah, I think it plays out well. I think it's gonna be a great feud going forward. But yeah, moving on to the match that took place after it. What was your reaction to the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match?
Drew McIntyre took a fucking beating last night. Let me start with that. Excuse my French, but Seth Rollins really gave it to him, and it was really cool at the end seeing McIntyre give respect where respect is due, shaking his hand. And I don't know if that ends this little feud or is just going to keep going, but that was a hard-fought match, really entertaining, and I'm glad Drew came back on top.
Yeah, I thought, again, Drew took a beating. I thought it played out a little too slow. I think the pay-per-view was moving quicker than they expected, so I think they had him play it out a little bit. But I also think, if you didn't watch The Undertaker's last ride early on in the day and you waited till it premiered after Money in the Bank, it was a perfect time out. But again, it played out for a long time. I love Seth Rollins' new entrance music. It was a great theme. So clearly he's staying as the Messiah heel for a long time. Now he's got a whole new entrance. He's got new gear. He's got new merchandise to buy. So clearly they're going to ride him out with this. I think Seth was taken off guard by him shaking his hand, but I think this feud might continue. I think they might find a way. Maybe he comes out tonight. Maybe Seth Rollins comes out tonight and he, pretends to shake Drew's hand again, and then boom, he capitalizes.
That's what I actually thought was going to happen last night. But
I think they maybe wait till tonight. I think that gives you something to tune into, a little bit of a cliffhanger with those two.
Yeah.
See anybody ready to step up to challenge Drew. Maybe unless KO comes back, but I don't think that's happening right now.
Yeah, before we get into our thoughts and predictions what happens this week, just to recap the rest of the matches, we had New Day retaining, Bayley retaining, Jeff Hardy came out and won, and then you had R-Truth lose to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have did something else with the Bobby Lashley R-Truth. Maybe Bobby Lashley's going to join MVP stable of guys. Maybe, again, MVP's great in the mic. He's not wrestling anymore. He's made that clear. So maybe he comes out. He's the new manager. They need more managers. I love having managers out there. I love when guys talk for guys, when they hype them up. It just works. It works very well. Bobby's not amazing on the mic. The other two MVP has are too young. So he got those 3 guys together. Get rid of Lana. Get her out of that scenario. Put those guys together, and it could work real well. So, but then I loved R-Truth. R-Truth's like, nah, F this. I'm getting my 24/7 championship back from Tom Brady. Hysterical. The guy knows how to work the mic. He knows how to cut a promo. He knows how to just have fun with it. He knows how
that championship needs to be back with him because he owns it. He loves it, and he's the right guy for it. High energy. Always, like you said, good with the mic, good with promos. He's great for it. Great 24/7 champion, and I hope he gets that back from Brady or Gronk.
He's become a jobber over the years now, being in WWE, but he's been such a great, funny jobber at it that he's bored himself into now being a Hall of Famer in the WWE. Alone WWE Hall of Famer, and that shows how great of a job he did. And like you said, New Day, they pinned Lucha House Party, so it means Miz and Morrison and Forgotten Sons are still, they still have their face, they're still good, they can still challenge. Bayley got the win over Tamina. I think because Sasha interfered, maybe Tamina's going to want to keep that feud going, so that'll be interesting. And then Jeff Hardy's back. He's going to start feuding with Sheamus. Sheamus' friend took the fight for him. Jeff Hardy's going to be a main stable going forward, and I can see him down the road challenging for the championship for sure.
Jeff Hardy might be on his last legs, though, especially being the high flyer that he is. So we'll see how long he can really last, and I don't know if he's got that championship left in him.
It'll be something to play out. We'll see what happens. I think he wants it. I think WWE knows the crowd still loves him, no matter what he's done in his life, no matter what he's been through, what demons he's faced. So it'll be something that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with him. But
for sure.
Talking about this week, how do you see? So tonight with Raw, what do you see happening? You see Asuka opening up. You see Drew McIntyre open up. What's going to play out? How do you think Raw is going to go?
Tonight at Raw, Drew might come out first. I think he might just grab the mic, obviously having that championship belt around his shoulder, and kind of just tell the crowd, like, look, it was a great fight last night. I'm hurting a little bit, but me and Seth Rollins really we evened it out. All the beef is gone. Like, look forward to my next challenger competitor. But I don't know. What do you see happening?
I can see that happening. Somewhat like that. And I see Seth coming out though, and Seth pretending to shake his hand, Seth kicking his ass. Buddy Murphy, his guy, coming down, also beating up Drew. And then this feud just keep going because, again, I don't see another heel on the roster at Raw right now to challenge Drew McIntyre. Or, maybe Drew comes out and says, hey, Otis, I'm ready for you. And then Seth Rollins is like, no, you're not done with me. So that's one way I could see that going with that. Another way I could see Raw opening up or just Raw playing out is Becky Lynch is coming out. She's coming back tonight. No doubt about it. She's back tonight. She's going to call out Asuka. We're finally going to get old Asuka back, hopefully. Becky Lynch and Asuka are going to go at it. Becky Lynch is going to be ready for that cash, and Asuka's going to pretend she's going to toy with her. She's not going to do it yet. And I can see her just playing out with this the whole year. Becky Lynch is going to want her to cash it on her, though, because obviously you want that person to cash it on you. You want to prove that briefcase means nothing.
And also, people that have the briefcase have won over 70% of the time that they cash in. So we might be seeing 2 new champions by the end of this week, or next couple paper, something like that. Yeah. SmackDown, I'm really excited to talk about. I really think it's going to open up with Bray Wyatt and The Fiend calling out Strowman, saying, "Look, I'm done with this. I'm not taking you back. I'm here to kick your ass now, and I'm going to be The Fiend." And the scary, all that entrance. What do you think?
I think that it's going to happen, but later on in the night, I think because Otis, Asuka can cut an okay promo. I think Otis can cut the promo they're going to look for. So I think they open up with Otis. I think they open up with Mandy Rose, and I think they open up with Tucker on Friday night, coming out to the ring, celebrating, having a good time. And then later on in the night, I could see The Fiend, Braun Strowman coming out, making an announcement, and The Fiend playing mind games. The Fiend, blacking out, puppets coming out of nowhere, him appearing, smoke, red lights, stuff like that. So I could see that happening. And And those two storylines, Women's Championship on Raw, because of Asuka winning the briefcase, the main championship on Raw, the big two storylines going forward. Maybe we'll hopefully get a new title contenders for the U.S. Championship and the Tag Team Championship on Raw. On SmackDown, the main thing is going to be Otis. Again, Otis and Asuka can switch brands, so they're going to be the main things on both brands. And then Bray Wyatt and Fiend's going to be the main target going forward. SmackDown Championship, who now is going to challenge the New Day? Who is the code breaker? No, the guy who's breaking codes. Obviously, it's not Y2J. My guess is either Chad Gable or Mustafa Ali. Both have been out for a while. Both could come back. Hopefully, there's rumors, tiny rumors that it's CM Punk. I don't think Vince McMahon likes CM Punk still. I think Triple H still hates CM Punk, so I don't think it'll be him. But oh my God, would viewership go through the roof? And we'll see what happens with Tamina and Bayley. But there's a lot of still, there's a lot of not unanswered questions. But see how they're gonna go. Maybe the feud continues, but how are these things gonna go with all these feuds? And another thing to look at that I think people gotta be ready for: Otis and Asuka. Because of what Charlotte Flair did after she won the Royal Rumble, she challenged for the NXT Championship. Otis and Asuka can go back to NXT.
That I didn't even think about that, and that's really where they made their splash. Obviously, before coming into the WWE, and now NXT is really on the rise. Yeah. So that would be interesting to see. I mean, there, like you said, so many unanswered questions that we need to really tune in this Monday and Friday to really get going.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, and now even Wednesday. Again. Vince McMahon and Triple H don't want to lose viewership because of AEW on Wednesdays. So if you don't want to lose viewership, how do you bring it up? Royal Rumble winner challenges for the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe now the Money in the Bank champion comes down to NXT to win it. And it won't probably be Asuka. I can see it be more Otis. But again, you want to bring viewership up. You bring these guys in. You bring them to NXT. You bring the Raw, you bring them to SmackDown. You pretend to cash in all these times, and people are going to be interested. People are going to be on the edge of their seats. And now people are going to have to tune in. Because WWE is changing. It's not just going to be a pay-per-view thing anymore because they need viewership for TVs because Fox and USA aren't too happy with what's going on. So I think every day is going to be a tune-in kind of day. Hopefully they keep the storyline going. Hopefully they can build out feuds longer like they've been doing, and they just, again, keep it like this. Keep it fun. Keep it entertaining. Keep it content-worthy. Don't go back to the old boring ways. Obviously you got no fans in the arena. You got to be able to work like that, and they've been doing a great job. Edge and Orton. One last take on this. I know they're coming back supposedly tonight, after their brawl at WrestleMania. So be interested to see. Be interested to see what storyline they go into. Who are they going to fight? Are they going to fight again? Who are they going to feud with? Because SummerSlam's around the corner. What's going to go around there? So.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Keep it locked in here. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you guys for viewing. Subscribe down low. Otis, good job, kid.